Okay, let's take a look at this problem, and this is similar to example to section 1.6 number 9. It says gasoline consumption in the United States increased from 2000 to 2004. And we're going to use the table below to answer each of the following questions. So let T represent the number of years since 2000. And then we're going to plot the points and draw the line of best fit for the data. Okay, so if T is the number of years after 2000, that means T equals 0 would represent the year 2000. And so we can go in and fill in our table. Instead of years, we can use T values of 0. And 2001 is 1 year after 2000, so it would be a T value of 1. And then 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so I'm really going to plot these ordered pairs. The first one will be 0, 126, and then 1, 128, etc. So on the graph, I'm going to first on the t-axis find 0, and then estimate where this y value is, which is going to be the gasoline consumption. Okay, so 0, 126, that's going to be somewhere in here. And then 1, 128. Okay, and 2, 131. 3, 133. And then 4, 136. Okay, we're also asked to draw the line of best fit through the data points, and so I would use the line tool next. And what we can do is just kind of make the line pass through kind of the center of the points, and so I would just estimate that the line of best fit would look something like this. Okay, just get as close as possible to kind of where the trend of the data and kind of somewhere in the middle. Okay, so your answer to part B could also help you determine how to graph this line of best fit, because we're going to come up with the equation for this regression line. Okay, so on your calculator, go to Stat and Edit. So just hit Enter. And in L1, we're going to type in those years, but really the T values. So starting with 0. Okay, and L2 will be the gasoline consumption in billions of gallons, so your Y values. Okay, then I'm going to select Stat again and go over to Calculate and choose option 4, which is LinReg or linear regression, and hit Enter, and then hit Enter until it calculates. Okay, so you should end up with a screen that looks kind of like this, where y is equal to ax plus b, and a and b are given. You also could have an r squared and an r at the bottom of your screen, and that is, definitely helpful if you're trying to state what the linear correlation coefficient is. But if you need some steps on how to set up your calculator, please refer to my video lessons for the week. Okay, so the slope of the regression line is 2.5, and so that's going to be your coefficient of your independent variable. In this case, it's going to be a t, and then plus b, and that was 125.8. Okay, and then if you want to verify that the line that you drew on part A was correct, then what you could do is make a table of values. Just pick 2 points that are easy to determine, pretty easy to graph. And so one of them that's very easy to determine is the y-intercept, which is already in this equation. So when t is 0, y is 125.8. just pick another value of T that is maybe one of your tick marks on your grid. And so I'm just going to select 5 and find the corresponding Y value. So my scratch work, I'm just going to do 2.5 times 5 and then add 125.8. And we get 138.3. Okay, going back to the graph, I want to make sure that my line kind of looks like it passes through 0, comma 125.8. Okay, so somewhere here. And then 5, comma 138.3. And so mine looks more like it passes through about 140. So I may want to move that line down just a tad, but either way, it's going to end up looking something like this. Okay, in part C, it says, how many millions of gallons of gasoline would you predict Americans would consume in 2010? Okay, so 2010 is 10 years after 2000. We're going to substitute 10 for T. And evaluate. And that gives us 150.8. Again, this is in millions of gallons.